Hello everybody, welcome to a very special stream. Chris Vac, aka Nirvana Tool here, and I am here not to play Warlord, but let's talk about Warlord. We're going to be talking about a very special event that the folks over on the Discord channel have set up for us in honor of the NCAA tournament. And I'm going to pause as we thank Sanji for that gifted sub. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. That little animation's in a very weird place, so I'm going to make sure it gets in a better place. All right, cool. So anyway, we're here to talk about Slow March Madness, and we're putting Slow March in quotes just in case for some reason anyone is searching around for an actual March Madness bracket, which is for the NCAA men's basketball tournament. That is for those who are international, that is the colleges in the U.S. Every year they do a big tournament where this is better. Oh, I don't know about that. I might be spoiled by last year's, so I don't know about that, but Graham. But you know what? This is pretty good. So what they did here is, and I'm just going to explain it in very short terms. They took signups for a single elimination bracket tournament, and this is exactly how the college basketball goes. Basically, at the end of the season, you take a look at how the teams are ranked, and college basketball kind of ranks people arbitrarily. So it's based off of, the strength of schedule. It's based off of data. It's based off of, obviously, your record, your conference, and things like that. And they take all that into factors, and then they take the top 68 teams, I think it is. Yeah, pretty sure. Or is it more than that now? I don't even know. Basically, the top 68 teams in college basketball, those who have automatically qualified and a few other things. And then they have them just play a single elimination bracket. You win, you advance. You lose, you go home. So it doesn't even get to play. Who doesn't? Oh, okay, gotcha. Get out of here. What is this? All right, chat's already being degenerate just on the explanation alone. So anyway, those folks, good old Graham. We're going to blame Graham, we're going to blame AJ, and we're going to blame Wes. And we'll probably blame Woodrow just because. Oh, Ollie Eagles here. Thanks for the sub, bud. Really appreciate it. There we go. And now the logo, the alert is in the right place where it should be. But so we are here to talk about these rankings. So those guys took all the 32 people who signed up to play in this style of event. They decided to make a bracket based off of current point standings in the online thingamajig. And and as I said, tell us what your Warlord is and let's go on it. So the catch is here, and for those who are not part of this field of 32, you can still participate in some way, just like with the actual March Madness. It's a tradition in my household anyway, but a tradition throughout many people who like college basketball to fill out your own brackets and see how it goes. There's a lot of gambling involved in that aspect, so not much gambling here, but we are organizing a bracket contest in Discord. So check out you'll be able to check out the Discord link in. If you're watching this live on Twitch, I should have those in my About Me page of that. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can check it in the description. So just go on there, join our Discord. If you're already there, great. And if not, fill out your brackets and let's go. So they're doing that little aspect, and I figured if I'm going to fill out my bracket, let me just do it on stream. Let's talk about it. And let's break down each of the matches, and I'll give you why I'm going with one way or another. So, and it's going to be interesting because obviously I'm in it, and I will just say from the get-go that just like when I used to, it's been a while since I've done like an analysis type stream, but I will always preface it with these things are my opinion. I am human. I am fallible. I make mistakes. My word is not law. So I'm going to say some things that are probably going to piss off a lot of people, that are going to end up being very wrong. And that's okay. It's all for fun, guys. I'm also going to talk a lot of trash just because talking trash is in the spirit of this event. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun, guys. And, I'm going to be talking about our community because we're so tight-knit. I think I know You know, they like at least 30 of the 32 very well. So let's see. Let me check. Okay, you guys are talking about other events. What is this? Okay. I'm talking too much. That means it's time for me to start filling out my bracket. So first off, there's 4 different regions. I guess I will stop to thank good old Midge for starting a hype train. There we go. There's that train. Thank you, bud. Appreciate it. Yeah, let's get on it. So again, we're going to talk some trash. We're going to have some fun. And we're going to have a good time, guys. And I'm going to fill out my bracket. In my very sophisticated bracket here, you can see this. This is available on Discord, as we talked about. It just worked out perfectly that we got 32 folks. So there's no playing game, no nothing. Games don't start until Friday. Oh, Graham, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Look at that. Keeping that hype train going. Love it. Love to see it. So, what do you say we start breaking it down? And I guess we might as well start in the, I guess we're gonna call this the Northwest region. So for some reason, we got yours truly here in the Pacific Northwest, the #1 overall seed. This is something I'm gonna take in. Oh, I'm gonna be so smug about it. Oh, I am so great, but that means I am not going to win this event at all. Exactly. Karate Kid Dojo. There you go. You know. The #1 seed is cursed. It's a curse. And this was definitely some kind of, I would say bamboozling, maybe some shenanigans, a little bit of both, all to just set me up for failure. But, it's okay. We're going to have fun with that. So let's start us off with the first matchup. And look, again, we got the players' names and we got the Warlord. So we have to factor in both of that. Not only just player skill, but also Warlord matchups are going to be very important. So like in college basketball, where this is usually a tradition, it's like there is some parity, and there are a lot of situations where the higher ranked team just goes down. Shout out to the St. Peter's University Peacocks, and shout out to all those Kentucky fans out there. Don't worry, I still remember. But things like that can happen, and I think things like that are going to happen a lot more here just in general. It is all based on matchups. It's not, I'd say the matchups matter more than player skill. So we got to see what's going to go on here. Who's Clefty 2.0? Get out of here. Oh, I see what you're saying. All right, I guess we'll dive right into it. So my first matchup, I am running Raziel. Good old, actually, and I come kind of prepared for this, at least a little bit, folks. We got some images that we're going to pull up just as we go along. So for those who, I assume everybody kind of knows most of these Warlords, but just in case no one really knows, we got good old Raziel, came out in Southern Kingdoms. This is known as one of, if not the most negative play experience Warlords out there. I have played it a lot. Basically, the reason why people hate Raziel is because it makes you discard cards. And what is the thing that people hate the most about playing Warlord? Not being able to play Warlord. So that's what this guy does. But in the spirit of the event, when Wes kind of explained it to me, it was like, okay, so it's a one and you're done kind of deal. So everyone's going to be bringing in like the big guns, right? So this is a deck I've enjoyed playing for, I'd say for as long as Raziel actually had a decent starting army. Whenever Javin came out, that would probably be one. So I was like, all right, let me give this a go. And then I tweaked it up a little bit too. There is one of my Raziel decks that are floating around online, but it is not that. I tweaked it a little bit. And it's got some flavor. It's got some spice, and we'll see how it goes. But I was like, if we're going to best, like a one and done, I'm bringing the big guns. So bringing good old Raziel here. So that's what I got, and I am going up against Disc Golf running Lord Winter. So we got an elf on elf matchup for the first go. Let me bring up Lord Winter for you. I just have to do some things. This is not really high tech, folks. So it's going to be a lot of going back and forth here in order to get to that. But this is the OG Lord Winter, I'm assuming. And I'm assuming they would write Winter Eternal, so unless the fix is in, which, we'll see, whatever. Good old Lord Winter, Fighter Warlord, gain a whole bunch of HP and chainsaw you. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. Raziel does have some spells in the deck, but it depends if I have some wizard spells and can hit this here. But really, I think it's a matter of just stopping the engine and keeping Winter in check. So this will be an interesting matchup. Disc Golf, I don't know. Is Disc Golf from Yuba? QTP, you're saying Yuba represent? You're either coming in here and announcing yourself, or Disc Golf is part of Yuba. Can you confirm? Because I have not met Disc Golf. I don't know. Okay, cool. He's a Yuba guy. Got it. So I am not familiar with this person. I don't know if they're good or bad. So it's going to be... That's the thing that you're always nervous about. What the fuck is Yuba? It's a city in California. So I don't know what I'm walking into. I don't know that. And you know what? That's kind of, I guess, on theme for a lot of March Madness, too. Those number one seeds, they see these schools that are like, wait, what? This is an actual college that exists. So in this case, I think this is what it's going to be. Okay, it's his first online tourney. All right, I like it. This is going to be awesome then. So I'm apologizing that his first experience is going to be Raziel, but Lord Winter is nothing to scoff at. So now, coming down to this matchup, I think this can be a little weird. Winter can get pretty stupid in a sense where once Winter gets going, it can just steamroll it. There's going to be some plannerness. There's going to be some tricks from Raziel, but it's really going to depend on how aggressive Raziel can be, how much it can, like what the pulls are from the hand, of course. But I would say, obviously, like I think Raziel kind of has the edge just because Winter likes to take its time setting itself up. But if my pulls aren't correct and the cards fall in the right place and Winter gets online, Raziel's army is very weak. Just Day of the Raven him. Unfortunately, this is not the Raziel from the Open tournament, so I can't do that. So I'm going to obviously take myself here. Only again, I don't know anything about Disc Golf. I do know stuff about Lord Winter. I've played against this deck a lot. I know the ins and outs of it. Unless, Disc Golf comes and pulls something, out of nowhere. I think, I'm feeling good about this matchup, let's say. And so right. I'm setting myself up to be jinxed. So we're going to take me in the first. So sorry, Disc Golf, but no disrespect because I don't even know if you're good or not because I don't know anything about you. And you all get to see this fancy MS Paint way of advancing myself in the bracket. But I think it works. Look at that. It looks almost legit. Alrighty, so I moved myself in. So let's now go down to the 17 and 16 seeds. So we got Nimeros, or Nimeros. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. Let me actually, Lord Winter, you are just still hanging around here. Go away. So I'm not going to do that for every Warlord, I think. Laird John versus Slugman's Artek. So good old Slugman hanging out in chat. I don't see Nimeros hanging around over here. Production quality is high, let me tell you. In the sense of where I decided I was going to do this around 10:30 a.m. this morning. Got home from work, ate dinner, spent about 20 minutes building some stuff, and we got going. So this is what you know what? You're here for the personality. You're here for the banter, and you're here for me because I am so full of myself, and I love it. Anyway, number one seed, Chris Vack. Thank you. So anyway, yeah, we'll be here. Yeah, that's Top Shelf. There we go. All right, so we got Laird John versus Artek. So Nimeros, I'm not familiar with how they've done in the events. The fact that they're 17th put them right in the middle of the pack, right near Josh, which I would say is kind of, okay, Josh is well known and everyone knows, and he's middle of the pack, and Nimeros, who I'm not 100% familiar with, just means, okay, Josh sucks. Love you, buddy. So this is an interesting matchup, though, because obviously Laird John is all about movement and range strikes. It's move forward, shoot, and just do as many shots as possible. The funny thing is, Artek is just, let me move forward and then do as many strikes as possible. So Artek's running right towards Layered John. These games could be a total of 4 minutes like, combined. So, they were actually tied in the standings, which gave it the edge to Josh. Look at that. Anyone know where Nymeros is from? Any meta or anything about that? I'm just checking chat to see if anyone knows. Chris doesn't lose. I do lose. All right. Maryland, D.C. Okay, cool. Which Maryland, D.C. folk is this? Is this part of the Tony Williams crowd? Like, I hope so. Because then I might actually know that person. But either way, cool. I like that. I like that. So, okay, so we got Slugman versus Nymeros. I think then it's a wash as close as anyone else in this ranking is going to be. Used to play for years. Oh, okay, that guy. All right, Sanji. Now that you know who it is, okay, I gotcha. So he's playing Laird John versus Artek. Okay, so normally I would say like Laird John has the advantage here. Depending on how fast, like first action could probably, let's say it depends on what Laird John's starting army is going to be. If it's Spencer, Brother, and Double Scarlet, and he goes first action, move Laird John forward, take 3 shots, kill 3 characters. Then
I thought my in-laws would kill me for eating gnocchi.
We know about you and gnocchi there, Kev. But then next action is, okay, cool. Artek's better order up to the second, and with 2 characters left, Spencer goes, swings, hits, Artek falls, and then dies in subsequent actions. You know, I could see that, but that's called living the dream. But luckily, that dream would be in the starting army. But it really depends if you set it up like that. Yes, it is cool. The hat's gone. Look at the freshly bald head. I love it. So, I like Laird John in this matchup, and I like Slugman as the player. So this is kind of this is what happens when you get the middle of the road here. It really is a coin flip. Just for a sense of disrespect, maybe I take Nymeros. This is interesting because obviously it's so weird that I'm also picking like who I think will be my opponent. I think I'm leaning Laird John, so I'm going to go Laird John. I just on Warlord only. I feel like I would be okay with that matchup, and that's what I'm going with. I think Slugman wins. Obviously, it's not a shock at all. But we'll see how this goes. Who do you want to play is the real question. I don't know. I don't like either of these matchups, honestly. Like I think I can handle Artek, but I also know how I built my deck, and Josh doesn't know how I built my deck. He probably will know after the first game, but like after that, so that is what I'm also basing it on. With Laird John, though, I'm not happy there either. Like, the speed worries me. So, both of these are going to be tough. Yo, what's going on, bud? Long-time listener, first-time caller, welcome. Glad you chatted. I love it. Welcome. This is a weird one. We're not playing Warlord. We're just talking about Warlord. But, Laird is solid against Raz. Yeah, well, he can be. He can just shoot out my second rank, and that's it. It's going to depend on the hand, though. So, but I'm going to give Laird John the edge here. So let's move on down. We got Denizen Kane, guest of the show. Been on here a few times. He's rocking King Zod, going up against Dragonbane, who hasn't been on stream in a very long time, but also, we'll say, friend of the show from Kentucky. So we got Portland versus Kentucky here. Kane, the number 9 seed. Look at that. Shout out to Kane for being so highly ranked. I love it. So going against Zod versus Loretta Cadet. This is, again... So I've seen Shane play. Shane likes to play some really fun stuff. He's got a lot of spice in his deck. Kane's Zod deck is a traditional Zod deck. I guess I know we're talking about a basketball analogy, but to use a football analogy, that's the fullback right there. It's just running up the gut, going for extra yardage. It's like, here we go. I have 9 billion AC. Deal with it. Whereas Lorena Canet could be some real funky stuff. It could just be, wizard-ish stuff with bard support and elves, and then that's That's about it. But that doesn't seem like Dragonbane's MO from what I know. He really likes to bring it with these ideas. So it depends if that idea is going to work or not. Just to be safe, I'm going to take Kane in this matchup. But I could see Lorena, like if Lorena is built to handle Zod specifically, kind of like how anyone who saw the Ancients Online World Championship where I ran Sanguinel. I built it specifically to deal with Zod. And that's exactly what it did round 1, despite some shenanigans. Right, Karate Kid Dojo. But it is very much built to that. So L's can be built to do that to Zod. It's just a matter of what's in this Lorena deck. So I'm going to give the edge to Kane here just on Warlord alone. And, oh, look at this. E. Kurth following the channel. Thank you, buddy. Let's use this highlight, select, copy, paste. Boom. Kane is moving on. And now it doesn't even fit nice. But you know what? It looks pretty good. This will be readable, I think, when I submit this. 2022 champ deck. Who's doing what? Sanguinel? What? I'm now just... No one uses the full back. Get out of here. All right. Oh, the 2022 Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, whatever. That thing. All right, anyway. Let's go on. We got Iceman, friend of the show, running Joden Drac. Ooh, this is some spicy devness. Again, Sly Fox, also fellow streamer, friend of the show. Look at this. That's a spicy round 1 matchup right there. That like just, oh man, just in terms of the actual players, both have performed very well in online tournaments. Seeing Iceman ranked 25th, what was it? I think Iceman is probably, did you skip an event? Because I know you were doing some kind of, theater thing. So probably played in only one event. And so you side up and you get a low ranking, and then Sly Fox probably like, what the hell is this? So, but this is a matchup already. So Kurios Bodak versus Joden Drac. All right, let's pop up Joden. I want to give some dev love here. I haven't seen Gracchus floating around in chat yet, but just in his honor, we might as well pull up some hot dev action. Good old Joden Drac. It is incoming, folks, and bam, there he is, level 6 Warlord. That's why most people know him. So most likely a pit fight deck. Plays pit fight to just punch the Warlord from far away. So it's really going to depend how fast Joden can get up. Kurios, on the other hand, we can search that up. Look at this production value right here. This is what happens when I'm not minimizing it. But good old Kurios Bodak, the fell blow extraordinaire themselves. So that's what we're most like. Yeah, E-Kurth, that's what we're thinking here. We have seen Sly Fox play that very same deck. So in January to the semifinals, as Graham says. So he has a track record of it. He might have been just, he's probably like, hey, I'm building one for March. I don't want to build another one. I got this Kurios deck. That was fun. I'm going to play it again. So that's probably what it is. So then Kurios, like Joden doesn't really have anti-draw. He's a fighter. He's a Deveridian, so there's no innate, unless he's packing some kind of like Regent or some weirdness like that. So Kurios can combo off and get the Vorpal Fellblow first turn pretty reliably. And Halo of Secrets ain't going to stop that. Well, I guess you can Halo the Vorpal, but even then, that's really the only out. And then Kurios can have Veil passing. I think because of the matchup, I think it's a lock for Sly. I think that Ice really got a bad draw here, and this is what happens when you take months off, bud. So we're gonna I just did something weird with my computer. I hope the stream is still working. Okay, cool. It looks like we're still here. So I don't even know how to explain to you folks what just happened. Hopefully you saw nothing. But anyway, I think we're going to give Sly the dub here. Let's move him on. Check out his channel, by the way. He streams on Twitch. He streams a bunch of... What is this? He streams... Oh, no. Let's not do this here. Okay, come on. Let's Let's figure out how to use the select tool, everybody. We got there. I only did it 3 times, so. But Sly Fox, moving on. So now what do you guys think? Should I stay in this region and finish out the region, or should I move on down to the next one? I think I'm gonna stay here. I don't even know why I asked you. I'm just gonna keep on going here. But Joden can have Karen Tremaine and Caleb the Shifter. That's true. And that would be edge there. I just don't think... I think not having an answer to the draw, though, is really what's going to do it. So, yep. Yeah, let's finish the region. There we go. Alrighty. Ekurth, new follower. He makes the rules. That's what happens. All you other people, you're just old and always around here. New blood decides it. So, all right, let's go back up to the top. Raziel versus Layer Jod. Again, I don't like this matchup. For speed's sake, I'm going to pick myself just because I'm going to hope I can outplay Nymeros. And that is really it. I am very afraid of this matchup. If I lose in the second round, I would not be shocked. This is where, if you guys are filling out your brackets and you're like, I want to make Vac lose, or I'm looking for an upset, it can come here in this second round. Just because, Artek and John are both really rough matchups. So, not in a sense that it's a rough matchup. It's one of those, things can happen. That's the best way to describe it. People roll a lot of even. People draw some insane hands that let them do a lot of actions and multiple... just massive tempo before Raziel can even do Raziel things. Raziel draws a hand of all actions, which seems to constantly happen. So things like that can happen. And even when talking with the good old group chat about what Warlords we were picking, I was talking about Raziel, and I'm like, I'm confident. If we did a 9-round tournament, I could probably go 8-1 with Raziel. But that one can come in the second round. So, and that's kind of how that deck goes. So, I could very well fall flat on my face, but I'm going to bet on myself here and say I move on to the Elite 8 there. Coming down here, we got Kane versus Zod, or Kane with Zod versus Sly with Kurios. Now, I saw in the Discord channel, Kane actually talking about this, thinking he has no chance. So he might be slipping, or he's trying to undersell himself there. Zod does have the tools to stop this kind of thing. Ring of Fire resistance, Sandals of Fortune. There are ways to stop being auto-killed by Fellblow. Magic resistance. Things like, all right, hold on. Before I get to that, good old Forge Cake saying, hate your Raziel. Story time on this, guys. For my deck, I tested it exactly 3/4 of a game, and it was against good old Forge Cake, because I was like, and I had to talk him into letting me play it, because he's played against me and Raziel so many times, and he's just like, I fucking hate this. So he didn't want to do that. He had a pretty good start with his little gargoyle deck that he was running. Had a Jet Gargoyle on my Warlord first action, and I was still able to hold on. And then once, it looked like I stabilized, he's like, I don't want to play this. I'm scooping up. I'm going to bed. Good night, Chris. I just left. He at least said good night, Chris, unlike Midge, who just leaves conversations without saying anything, and then you don't know he's gone until 4 minutes later. It's really funny. But so that's story time there. Love you, Bobby. But let's go back to Kane and Zod versus Sly with Kurios. Zod, if Kane built this to handle the things that Sly does well, then he'll be fine. And I think he could potentially crush it. But with Sly has the edge of the player here. And if Kane gets a really bad draw, he's the kind of guy, and again, this is going to be the analyst thing, and this is one of the, now I know what it's like with all those pro sports guys where they go on here and they have to talk about people they played with, because I have played with Kane. I think I saw Bobby even say it, and Kane thought it was a compliment, but Kane can be his own worst enemy, and I do think that's the case. Kane is a very good player, but when things go bad, he starts to tilt a bit. So he becomes his own worst enemy. And like the being able to. So if you see a bad hand, he might be like, "Yeah, I'm done," and then start making more mistakes. But he might not necessarily be done. He's just got to keep a level head, and if he has the right answers in the deck, search it out. Like, because Zod can search for sandals and say, "Hey, have fun, good luck," or if it just draws the Ring of Fire resistance, bye. But those are options. Or Zod could even, let's say, search for Staff of Secrets, put it right on good old Preen in the second rank, and or Tinker or whoever it is, the level 2 wizard that dwarves have, and say, good luck drawing that, Corios. I'm going to get real big. Here comes Gerard's Heirloom, and I'm going to do 900 strikes to your face. So Staff is the only real answer. Get out of here, Mr. Not listed in this bracket. But, Staff can be really bad because that's 2 actions in and then he is done. Veiled, Wand, and Massive Draw beat the others. That's fair. But, yeah, Staff is could be the play here. So, hopefully, Denizen has that. If not, Sly's taking it. So, I'm gonna give it to Sly, though. I'm going to go Sly. I think... Like, oh man, cause I kind of don't believe I've talked myself into Kane with the Staff, so this is a good matchup. I like it. It's just I've seen Sly just draw that combo without anything. These are the struggles when people fill out brackets. Some people, like wherever Zap Primus is, I don't know if he's watching or working, but I think he said he just kind of started throwing darts at a dartboard. But you know what? We got to go with some spice here, right? I'm sorry, Sly. I love you. Let's take Zod. Come on, Kane. You can do it. I believe in you. So we got Kane versus me. Well, Raziel versus Zod. Forge Cake. You want to tell people about my track record with Raziel against Zod? Okay, there we go. So I have a lot of. I love you, buddy. I love you, I swear. There it is. That tells the story there. Good old Bobby, the Dwarven loyalist he is, again, many years has played King Zod against my Raziel. And I think he says he hasn't beaten me once. I've probably lost at least once. But it's very much leaned in my favor. But King Zod can get big very fast. King Zod will lose their army. How much skill and HP King Zod has is going to be very important. They don't have Blood God's Bassinet, which didn't exist when me and you played, Bobby. Even with 3 supply. Yeah, I was still able to blank those things. Raziel's ability, and we haven't talked about that. Raziel's ability to just blank some of these supporting dwarves will really slow down Zod, and Zod can't use Staff of Secrets, so that won't matter. Getting high AC will be okay, but Raziel can attack with skill and can attack with Black Moss. So, okay, you did beat me in Midnight Man. Okay, there you go. Somebody remembers. I don't. I don't remember my losses. No wonder you lost. So get out of here. All right. You best Logan, good job. What? I don't know. Midge is kind of talking. Anyway, I feel confident against Zod, so in the most pompous way possible, I will move myself to the Final Four. So this is what we got going here. The only real upset I have is I have Nymeros beating Josh and Kane beating Sly. So this is pretty chalk. I almost don't feel good about it. But either way, that'll be the Northeast. We'll get back to the Final Four eventually. Let's move on down to, that's not the Northeast. I play in the Northeast, but I'm in the Northwest bracket. So let's go to the Southwest. Let's go to the good old Cali area. So what we have here, let's start off with our first matchup. Good old Midge hanging out in chat. What's going on? The number 5 seed running the Nemesis going up against Cat. What up, Captain? Good old fellow team dwarf from Strategic. over here. So he has bravely stepped up and said, I'm going to take life into this bracket of all these people who are tryhards. It's like, oh, don't worry. I got the 20th anniversary Dwarf Warlord that everybody is not excited with. You know what? He is, and that makes me really excited. So let's get life up there. Okay, man. Searching for life is hard on the Accord Lance, but let's give this dwarf some love right here. I use this image in a lot of my stream material because it is a very gorgeous piece. I just wish it was on a better card. Life is underrated. I mean, it's just there are things on here from a design thing, not to beat a dead horse here, but like there is no reason for that -1 level for casting spells. Like there is no good reason. But I do like life. Thematically, front rank clerics, especially in 4E. I mean, I designed one myself. I just made it a Sutek Merc. So I do like it. But now going to Ancients, this is going to be very interesting. He can at least play Mass Blessing. But so we have the unknown factor of life versus the Nemesis, who is blitzy, aggressive, recursion necromancer. I think just Nemesis is going to be way too much for life. Like this would be a great upset. Now, what is that happens that everyone says in college basketball? You always got to watch for the number 5 seed. There's always at least an upset in the 5-12 matchup. Well, Midge, technically, if they did the rankings the right way, you can tell these people who made it clearly didn't understand how seedings works. There's 4 number 1 seeds, and like each bracket, they go 1 through 16. So you could have did 1 through 8 in each one and have 4 number 1 seeds and all that, but clearly whoever numbered it did not do that. I'm going to blame Wes. I feel like he knows the least about college basketball, and he knows the least about Twitch because he is never going to be able to hear me say this because he is a boomer. Oh, look at that, number 1. So is that what happens when you win the bracket challenge? Like a new challenger emerges and Graham comes in? I like that. But I think Nemesis is just too quick, too fast, and puts way too much pressure. Anything that life is trying to set up, I think, crumbles to this blitz here. And even if it does get online between Venom Vines, Death Fogs, and things like that, and Wheel of Death, I just feel like Nemesis is just way too solid. So I think Midge is going to get this W. So let's move him on in. And I'll speed up because I feel like I'm going very slow. What do you guys think? Am I talking too much? I mean, it is me. Alrighty, let's now go on down to You Love to Hate Me. Shout out to William. William, we're going to use your real name. All because everybody always calls you Trucker, which, is a shout out to all big rig truckers, my dad included. But, so, respect. Say his name, William. Put some respect on it, please. Rockin' a Darby. Demanding respect. So there we go. Going up against Rain with Aridin. So this is one I want to watch. So I have seen Will run a lot of Free Kingdoms, standard aggressive, like, hey, like the peasants, rise up and they go for you kind of deal. And Indarami is exactly that. Going up, like the thing with Rain ranked number 12, he's running Aridin. I've never seen him run dwarves, which intrigues me. Rain, I know, like when we played and just like having conversations, my dad doesn't even play Warlord. He gets a shadow. Oh yeah, I guess there is another trucker here. Whoops. You could check out his Twitch channel. He should stream from the rig. But yes, my dad does get a shout out. I love my dad. Shout out to Joey D wherever he is. Rain with the nastiness, and you see, like, that's what it is. When you see Aridin is a very good and underrated gargoyle warlord. Let's get Aridin up here. Some people who, because dwarves never get any love whatsoever, probably like, what the hell is an Aridin? Is that like the Nothrog guy who looks like he punched a pile of blood, like from Southern Kingdoms? No, that's an Aradan. This is Arudun. This is a different guy. Bam. So, level 5 Cleric Gargoyle. Does some sneaky tricks. When gargoyles die, you just look at your top 10 of your cards and put another one there. So what if I had to guess what Rain does? Because Rain, he says he doesn't like to play aggressive decks. He likes to sit back, do some cool things, and then let the game go for 90 minutes. That's his style. That's what he likes to do. So I imagine this is a Jet Gargoyle or Fleshstone Gargoyle kind of deal. So unfortunately gets a draw of a Darmy. It's a really good call to okay, I think a lot of people are going to play Wizards or whatever, but then to get hit with a Darmy round 1 is kind of rough. Darmy obviously has no spells unless the level 2 freak is a Glenda Blaze, or if it's a Rosalie that plays Reflect, and then the Jet Gargoyle can come in through that way. That would be Rain's way to victory. But if that's not the case, and even then, if like it's Rosalie and Will doesn't draw any Reflect or just doesn't play it, I think a Darmy just kind of trucks Aradin here. So hate to pick against my boy Rain, but I'm gonna go with Will on this one with a Darmy. So let's do that. So, bam. Now, moving on. We got Temperance with Anton Kyle Dragon. I love it. Oh, man. Aradan, you got to go away for a bit. Why aren't you going away? There you go. Now we got there. So, we got Temperance running Anton. For those who don't know, that's the... Why do I have to just explain it? Like... I got the production value going here, guys, and I'm just not using it. What is wrong with me, right? A lot of things. Where do we begin? Not enough time in a stream to explain what's wrong with me. Anyway, good old Anton, OG, Wizard Guildmaster, equips things. So Temperance, like Rain, another player who really likes to bring the spice and always has cool ideas. So if he's running Anton... I would love, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's got some kind of weird, like, let's see, it's for Wizards, right? Like if he has some weird like Blackwater Steed thing, it could just be Supremacist Phantasm, like it could be something like that as well. There's a lot of big Wizard items or just big items in general, so I love that he called up Anton for this. But I don't know how this could go. So again, it's going against Deadly Penguin, good old AJ Foster, running Elysia. Let's get Elysia up here. Let's go away, Anton. You come on back. Alizé. For those who might not know this, we got the Chosen being represented here. Princess Alizé. So, good old Bard, Chosen, Warlord from the 20th Anniversary Pack. So this is going to be fun. Alizé is one of the better Chosen Warlords that just doesn't get a lot of love. In 4E, I think it's a good call. So it's definitely fun. Definitely like this deck. Versus Anton, I don't think Alizé is fast enough to stop whatever crazy kooky thing Temperance has going on. I really do think it's going to be Phantasm Supremacist if I had to guess. So based on that, Alizé, I like, again, like, okay, cool, I can ready a Thrall really quick and go. So maybe AJ pulls out a curveball here and blitzes people, but I think he's playing the mid-range, the Redu Tams, the Redu Car, that level 4 who gains a bunch of charges, things like that. So it might take him a turn or two to kind of get settled, and by then Anton might go off. So I'm gonna take Temperance here. I tend to not doubt Temperance. I've seen him do some really cool things and play really well historically. Whereas with oh no, here we go again. I keep messing up. Whereas AJ, I know he's a freak. Wow, right? He's a Free Kingdoms loyalist, so he is not in freak territory here. So Don't really know about his track record with the Chosen. So that'll be interesting. I think either way, fun to see. Two awesome folk. And but I think Temperance moves on. So then here we go. We got Caton619 versus Sanjington. Good old mod in the chat. What's going on, buddy? So Sanjington running Talth going up against Jalik. So, or, oh no, that's Jacqueline. I thought it was Jalik. All right, so it's Jackie. Okay, that is different. I was getting ready to start talking about some mercenary shaman warlords, but now I see it is, because Jackie in my head is still like CK, i.e. That's how whenever we type it. Sanjington overrated. Look at this. Sanjington with a 4 seed. Should we talk about that? Good old, a few top 8 performances. So that's what happens when you run good old Nothrogs, and he's sticking with that. A little different. This is good old Talth. So it's most likely Spell Blitz. Very glass cannony, very explosive. Going up against a Freak Kingdom lineup that's probably very fragile. Probably, Freak Kingdoms, and that's the thing. Like, Lear Militia is probably the best starter. Level 2s, like, Freak Kingdoms have the best, like, 1s and 2s, but, again, they're for the offensive capabilities, not necessarily for the defense. Lear Militia is pretty good. Like, obviously, going fetch Brother D, that can be good, but Talth has a whole lot of bonuses, and even, just starting the table, good old altar with some dust to dust just to kind of really hurt things. Well, luckily, if Sanjington's deck is built around DC checks, then Jackie's going to have some fun. +9, here we go. But I think I'm going to give the edge to Sanjington. I just think that heavy blitz is going to hurt Jackie. Now, if Jackie does pull out the win, it's going to be thanks to a random Peyton Latham with a Farglass on that just comes out of nowhere and snipes Talth, who's sitting in the second rank, because that is not safe. But it's also going to depend on Caton's build. I'm not very familiar. I think Caton is the player from the Philippines, if I'm not mistaken, who joined us a couple months ago. Like, I hope I'm remembering that correctly. So either way, happy to see him still, or them, still rocking. Yes, it is. All right, cool. Thank you, Graham. But love to see it. Happy to see that they're still playing. And hopefully they have fun. Let's go with that. All right, cool. Went up a little too far. So now let's go to the back top of the bracket. Midge versus Will. Nemesis versus Adarami. This is going to be a quick snap pick for Midge. Based off of what we saw in the Online World Championships for Ancients. Josh, good old Slugman from my bracket, he ran the Nemesis there, and it was built to take on Adarmi and handle it, and I'm pretty sure he did. Josh, I don't know if you're still listening, but I believe you faced at least one Adarmi and was able to handle it, because killing a level 1 just for free really hurts them. And then also doing that and getting Venom Vines back to just re-up your ranks. Oh, yes, you did beat an Adarmi. You beat Midge, I believe. So, like if Midge is probably running... Yes, he did. There we go. So, the Nemesis is built to be very stable. And it'll look like the ranks are collapsing, and then all of a sudden they're just massive swarms of undead. So I think with this, Midge definitely knows that, because he was on the receiving end of it, knows what to do. He knows Adarmi in and out. Now, of course, Will can just dice the crap out of Midge, and Midge draws a hand of like 3 Staff of Secrets and some other random garbage card that he probably put in and didn't realize he put in. So, like, it could happen. Robe of the Plains and Helm of Undying, let's say. Like that's a 5-card hand that Will's going to truck him. So, but I just think that consistently, if we're going odds, I think Midge is going to get the edge here. Nemesis is just really good against Adarmi. So, boom. Midge moving on. Then we got Temperance versus Sanjington. So, I know these two have played. Obviously, we've never had an Anton versus Talth matchup in the last 20 years, I don't think. So, this will be a first. So that'll be fun. So now it really comes down to what does Anton have? Anton's probably starting Qualibet, so probably has a little bit of sturdiness in the front rank against the Nothrog bonuses. So if Sanji decides to just stop rolling above a 10, that'll slow him down a bit for Anton to do its thing. If Anton can draw a improved invisibility, assuming it's the deck that I think it is, I could see it. But if it's not, and it's something that if Temperance is running like a turn 3 deck, I think Sanji just absolutely just trucks him. So now you got to make this educated guess based off of, let's see. Oh, look at the chat. Y'all aren't ready for Temperance's deck. Yeah, I'm not. But I'm never ready for a Temperance deck, ever. You never know where he's going. So, oh, man. What happens if I pick against my mod? Does he just start, banning people? I think he's at work. No, all right. Sanji, are you working today? Do you not have full access to these banning tools? Because, I kind of... Oh, you are not. Uh-oh, here we go. So, I kind of like if I want to pick a dark horse, like a random one, seeing Temperance with Anton is kind of who I would see making a deep run. I think Sanji is favored here, and I think I'm going to pick Temperance just because I just don't know what he's got cooking. And if it's something really good, Sanji's going to not know it's coming and be like, what the fuck is this? And then just get murdered. So everyone has me losing the bitch. So all right, well, boom. Let's do this. Let's make it worse for you, Sanji. I still love you, buddy. Let's go. So then we got more Free Kingdoms matchups, or Team Free Kingdoms matchup here. In the finals of this region, we got Midge with the Nemesis versus Anton. Oh, man. Yes, I do. Oh, God. I thought you were saying, let's see. Well, everyone has it. So, okay. Again, now, so this is the same reasoning that I was going with Sanji then, right? So, Nemesis can go very fast. If Anton's got some craziness and Midge isn't fast enough, could Temperance get Supremacy out and go crazy? I don't know. I could be picking Temperance right now and then just be falling flat on my face. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it. I want to be spicy, right? I mean, come on. I have to do crazy things, folks. Somebody picked Gracchus to win, right? So I'm going to say Midge draws awful hands, complains about it, and decides he wants to just go play NHL instead. And Temperance is going to take it with Anton because he is playing some crazy deck that nobody knows. So what is this Phantasm combo you speak of? How does one procure the levels to drop Supremus? Well, that's a thing. I have seen it done before out of Anton. I believe and Wes was the one who did it. Can you staff Phantasm? Yes, because it's retrieval, right? The spend order doesn't stop it, though. The react does. But then if he goes sabotage... Yeah, don't worry, Midge. I'll still coach you. I'm picking you to lose, but I'll still coach you if the time comes. I just want to go spicy. I just believe in Temperance. That's why. So let's go with that. Temperance is going to lose to AJ and then just, call it a day. And then Vax Brack is racked. And then that'll be the end of it. So let's go on. Let's go northeast. Alrighty, here we go. Starting with the number 3 seed, good old Wad, Karate Kid Dojo in the flesh. King Zod. Alrighty, so folks have seen Wad's reign with King Zod in the last 2 online Ancients tournaments. He's done rather well for himself, winning 1 and getting to the finals in another. I love it. Round 1, there's a Zod Darby matchup. Good old Zide Punk. The chat's very own Zide Punk. Winner of many raffles here. So I don't really know. I know Zide Punk has been kind of hanging around here for a while, but I've never seen them play a game. So I can't speak to the skill with Dow good old Wad. I know he's very skillful. I know he has played King Zod versus Adarmi many times. Zeidpunk wins so many things. Yes, he does. But can he win against King Zod with Adarmi? Can he go like Winter Warfare, you lose, haha, GG's? Maybe. And that would be fun. And I think Dow would kind of laugh. But then like be really sad that he doesn't get to play Zod anymore until at least, October or August or whatever. So, but I think I'm going to pick Dow. It's really hard not to pick him with the track record in Zod. In fact, he's only a number 3 seed. Again, doesn't take into account the historicalness. So this would kind of be, I guess, to do a college basketball analogy, this is like Michigan State. It's like, oh yeah, Michigan State. They're like an 11 seed. They ain't going to go anywhere. Oh, they're in the Final Four. It's just kind of like that. Go Steel. It's why Zod wins. Oh, somebody agrees with that. Good to know. Moving on, we got Zant Primus with Trespass going up against Kamikaze with Jin Valford. All right, we're going back to the Accord Lands for this one, folks. Trespass, I think most people know Trespass, but let's go to Trespass really quick, just because I also know there is another Trespass in this event. But let's get good old Trespass on here. Hold on. We got to do this right. Let's go Sneak Attack Trespass. There we go. That's the OG Trespass I know. So Dwarven Assassin, very simple. Sneak into your ranks, stab you in the face. So Trespass can do that very quickly with one movement and a good roll, DC 24, into the opposing front rank. It is an assassin. Assassins have a whole lot of nastiness in there. So that would be Trespass. Now let's go to Jin Valford. A favorite of mine. I run a very different version of Jin Valford than Chase does. So, but let's get Jin up here. Is a Ranger Lycanthrope dragon-ish thing that turns into a Kyle Dragon. So I guess there's multiple Antons in here. This is I think in storyline wise, I think Anton got bit by a Lycanthrope and then turned into Jin Valford. I believe. Right? Maybe. If not, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I've seen Chase run this, and I am very familiar with it because I had to be an acting judge and tell him that Cardinal's Blessing did not work the way it works. So, and he was not very happy about that because a few other non-named judges apparently did not correct him when he played it, and we all had a good laugh, and Chase was very angry. So I remember that, but what I've seen from, assuming this is Kamikaze's deck, like the deck that he's run in the past, he's going to get Kyle Dragon in really quick. Freaks with a lot of buffs, like Vorgorn and a few other random freaks that I don't even know of. It's a really cool deck that gets Kyle Dragon's AC to be like 30, and then they just sit in the front rank and slowly chew through your ranks. So I have seen that. Now, I'm assuming Trespass will have Knife After Dark and or Assassination, so that the AC won't matter. It is a cleric, though, so it can, and with high skills, so it can heal a bunch of wounds. And I think Kyle Dragon base is 4 HP or 5 HP, Kyle Dragon. And then with Kero, we'll get even more. And here's the thing with Chase, and I say this with love. Chase is a very good player and has had very good performances online and in person for sure. He, again, like I said with Kane, it can be his worst enemy, not necessarily from being tilted, but I could see Chase just, if things go wrong, be like, I don't want to play this stupid game anymore, and then just walk away and just quit. And so I could see that happening. Or like, again, if there's a bad ruling, he might be like, screw this, I'm picking up, I'm going to go play the regular Agents event. I'm getting out of here. But so that is what I'm not sure of. But I think I'm going to I like his deck, and he knows it very well. Hopefully he just remembers how Cardinal's Blessing works. But I'm going to pick Chase here. Let's go for that. This might be I do like Trespass, though. Like, it is a really awesome Warlord. So I like that Xant's running it, but I think just on familiarity with the Warlord, Chase knows how to use that big old dragon very well. Got him. So let's move on now. Like, this is 11 versus 22. So we got Wesley running Sir Robert V. So Sir Robert the Vigilant, the OG Sir Robert, versus Burnout running good old Bane of Masiris. So let's get Bane pulled up here. So Burnout, I believe, I think the track record shows that Burnout is a mercenary loyalist, ironically, because they are only loyal to the coin, but loves to play mercs. Played against me in this classy event running Andalwick as a fighter. Probably a very same style of deck here, but just he ran Andalwick as a paladin fighter, so it could be very much the same deck, which gets very big very fast and does a whole lot of wounds. So now this is going up against Wes. What is he like? I love Wes. I have never heard of him playing Free Kingdoms. I've never heard of him playing a deck like Sir Robert the Vigilant. Is there a card draw in Free Kingdoms that I don't know about? The guy likes drawing his entire deck, so that's why he plays elves. Or like, I guess he likes dev clerics too. And this is a Free Kingdom fighter would probably be the antithesis of the anti. We're going to go with that because I feel like I'm going to keep saying, I'm going to keep stumbling over my words if I try and say antithesis again. I almost got it. I think I got it. I think it's all right. So I have no idea what Wes is doing. It's probably just play some big guys, Bachbow them up and do things. And if that's the case, I can see Burnout getting like, here's a King's Lady. Here's a Gloves of Mercy, Braces of Ogre Power, go up. Here's however many strikes he has, 3 base at least, plus anything else. And then just, cool, 4 characters are wiped off the board. I could see that, and then good old Sir Robert not being able to handle that. I think I do think Wes is a better player than Burnout, but Burnout is certainly capable. Has top 8'd at the Jersey event. Always puts up a good fight with me on stream. Absolutely crushed me in the league. I'm gonna take Burnout here. I just like the Bane deck, especially against a slow Sir Robert. So who knows? Maybe Wes has got some craziness. Maybe Sir Bobby's gonna put on a great crossbow and do some range strikes, and it'll be real fun. But I told Wes Robert was a deck of it. Got him. That's how you get it. But I don't know what Wes is doing with Sir Bobby, so I'm gonna pick against him just on that, and just because I can hear him calling me a jerk, so I'm gonna do it for that meme. And we like Burnout. Shout out to Burnout. All right, let's go down to Dr. Traveler, the 27th seed. He's been on the show. I call it. He's been on the stream a bit, running Inquisitor Chire versus. Definitely been on the show before. Celtic running Korios Bodak. Celtic running Korios. He just wanted to play some Fellblowness? That's interesting. But number 6 seed, reigning online world champ. Not running Fatraka, but running probably the same deck that Sly's running. So a lot more of draw. Chire is a monk. Doesn't have anti-draw. But again, it's a Elf Fellblow versus Dev possible redirection matchup. So it's the same thing. And we did take Sly there. I do want to call out Dr. Traveler. Why do I still have Bane up here? None of you wanted to correct me. All right, I love it. But Dr. Traveler, you are a Free Kingdom loyalist. I've seen you wander the Free Kingdom's lands since the old days of the temple. What is this chireness that you were up to? The match of who has more reacts. Well, I mean, Chire does have the built-in, I got targeted with a melee strike. Let me run back 1 rank. So Celtics will read Quizzer Chire, forget that existed, and be like, oh, fuck. But that'll be really fun. Celtic may be running Ring of Blasting instead of Vorpal Blade. I don't know. Like, why would you do that with the critical success on a melee strike, though? That's the only thing. Oh, you mean like, multiple wounds? Yeah, it could be that. That could be a thing. I see what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I don't know what he's running. He did not post it in our group chat. He doesn't trust Midge, most likely, because he knows Midge will tech against him. What a jerk, right? Anyway, I think for the same reasons I took Sly in the other side, which right over there versus Iceman. I'm gonna take Celtic here over Dr. Traveler. What is going on with this high production value? Get out of here. All right, cool. We got it. Look at this. Highlighted. Good old Control C, good old Control V. And boom. Moving back up. King Zod versus Jin Valford. So, talked about Chase before with getting high AC, being a big old dragon and doing some old things. And King Zod being a big old thing. So, I think this matchup will go precisely one game. And the way that this works is, folks, because it is single elimination, there are no ties. If you're in game one and you eclipse 90 minutes, you just finish out that game, however long it takes until there's a winner. Same thing if it's game 3 as well. If it's game 2, whoever won the first game when 90 minutes hits just is the winner and advances 1-0. But I think, good old Dow. We love making fun of him a little bit. We love the guy. We also love to roast him a bit with how slow he plays. It is not slow playing. It is just his pace that he plays. He takes his time. He's very thorough. He thinks about it. He analyzes everything before he kind of goes into it. Verso, an Uber deck versus an Uber Cleric deck. I just see this matchup taking about 3 hours. And I think after about 2 hours, Chase starts getting like real upset, real annoyed. Maybe his family's like, hey, we had plans to go to the movies. You need to stop playing your silly Warlord game and you need to take us. Then he gets real flustered and says, screw this, I'm done. And then just scoops. It's like, you got it, man. You'll eventually get it. And it might take you like 6 days to get it, but you're going to get it and then just leave. So I think that is what is going to happen here. So we're going to give Dow the win. Again, not because of play skill, but because Chase needs to go to the movies. Burnout versus Celtic. So Bane versus Korios. This will be a fun matchup. Now, assuming still operating that Bane operates, assuming that the Bane deck runs like the Andalwick deck, he needs a turn or two to get on board, and I don't think that's fast enough. Let's see, bonus points if Chase and Midge lose in the described ways. Yeah, absolutely. Take 4 hours and have his laptop die. There you go. That's how you beat. That's how you beat Dow. No, Dow would still do it. I mean, hey, Dow might have to go to the movies too. You never know. He's got little ones as well. And they'd be like, Daddy, you promised. But I think he would also plan this around and be like, hey, let's play at like 11 p.m. when my kids will be asleep for the next 8 hours. So he'll be good to go for a 6-hour one game. So that's why I think Dow will do this. See, this is how you analyze Warlord matchups. You need to, go back to my top 5 tips thing. It's know thy enemy. You need to know how these players think. And this is how things are going to go. But anyway, I guess we should probably talk a little bit about Warlords. Burnout, I just think he's not going to be fast enough. His deck is cool. His deck is fast, but with critical successes against high AC, critical successes will win out. So Celtic will get there. Boom. And then that gives us a rematch of the online finals. Just slightly different Warlord for Celtic here. So Celtic prevailed there versus King Zod. So now again, how did Dow build that King Zod? Did he build it to stop these critical successes? I know he's probably built it with a bunch of potions of blurring, but I don't know if he has Sandals of Fortune. I don't remember if that was there. I don't think he ran the Ring of Fire Resistance either. So I could see it. Man, this is tough. Like, I think Edge is Celtic here, right? Because I don't think that King Zod, like, Dao's King Zod was built for, like, dealing with the Dar army and dealing with all these, like, aggressive decks. Like, I don't necessarily think combo was something. Oh, yeah, the Staff of Secrets, so yeah, let's not forget that. I forgot it. See how fast I forget this? This is what happens when I don't prepare, guys. I'm doing like the Shaquille O'Neal or Charles Barkley in the analyst seat. You know, they just kind of show up and it's like, yeah, everyone knows me. I've sold a bunch of jerseys and scored a bunch of baskets in my life. So that's probably, yeah, eating wings, yo, let's go. I mean, it's a little late here, but I might be down to clown with some wings. But anyway, I think, yeah, sorry, Celtic. I want to take Celtic, but Wad knows what he's doing with Staff of Secrets. Fine, let's put him in there. Final four, I got Wad taking this. Let's see. Let's go down to bottom right. How are we looking on time? All right, hour 11 I've only talked for. This is nothing. All righty. Number 7 seed, Ollie Eagle running Adoramus Tay. That is a Warlord we are pulling up from the Accord Lands because some people may only know them as Vega from Street Fighter. Hopefully people are old enough to remember that reference, and I have not totally dated myself with good old Street Fighter. But let's get it up there. Bam! Good old Mass Cage Fighter. But this one's got magic on their side. So it is a Cleric Wizard with Scribe. Discard a card from your hand, get +1 level. It's a good elf. Look at that. He needs to win just because it's Tay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, Ollie's hanging around here. Like, oh, okay. See, Amanda's hanging around here. Has Ollie run this Adoramus Tay deck? I feel like this isn't the first time I've seen Adoramus Tay on the listings, and I would not be surprised if it was attached to Ollie. We'll see if it works. All right, the amount of confidence from the number 7 seed right now. Going up against Dan Marr. I think it's Marr, right, Bobby? This is a Jersey local from Central Jersey / the Shore / Wakanda, because Central Jersey does not exist. Yep. So, okay, cool. I want to make sure it's Marr, not like Mayor or whatever. But I love this because I know these messages are coming from Bobby. But yeah, so Dan did very well at the New Jersey Open back in November with the Derby, and he's running Keziah Firehair, so a very blitzy Free Kingdom rogue. That is one of my 4E decks of choice, but going into Agents, you can still kind of run the same thing. Starting double Scarlet, getting a whole bunch of strikes off first action, so depending if, let's say, Adoramus Tay is starting Tyrius and Stealthing, it'll come down to those rolls. Dan went 500 in his first tournament, and his deck is nasty. Okay, yeah. Like I am familiar with Dan. At the Jersey event, I was running Duchess Brimmon versus Adarami. It took him a while just because he was still hadn't played the game in like 20 years, but it was an absolute one-sided demolishing. So I have been on the receiving end of a Free Kingdoms Dan Marr crush. So I think this comes down to the freak aggressiveness versus what Ollie has in terms of a starting army. It's clear Adoramus Tay is doing something that's going to take a bit. It's going to take at least a turn or two. If it's related, like, unless you're doing it just for because if you're doing it just for the Cleric Wizard, you're probably going Cerulean Calyx, unless you're just really like Scribe, or you need the good alignment. So, like, the reason for Tay is the ability to get +1 level. This could be a Phantasm deck. Could be, might be. Why does everyone want to drop Supremus? I'm just convinced everyone's dropping Supremus. This is what happens when you play a Demon Lord drop deck for a month. But I need to pick some spice, right? So based on the starting army alone, And again, I think Ollie is a far superior player than Dan. I will go as far as say that. I'd say, I'm going to compliment you, Ollie. I think you're one of the better players in our community. But I think you love and drank a little too much. And I think Kazaya is just one of those matchups where it's just like, I just roll dice and watch your L's go kaboom. So let's drop an upset round 1. So, because Supremacist is friendly. Yeah, let's see. So, let's take Dan in a spicy pick here. Alrighty, speaking of spice, oh man, we got Gracchus running Sir Rollin. This is how you know people were like, I'm going to try hard here. When you have Gracchus running an actual top tier Deverinian. Sir Rollin, good old sniper extraordinaire, going up against Wyvern running Bran Segula. The people might not remember Bran. People are like, wait, what is Epic Edition? Let me educate y'all, folks. Let's get it up, and bam, mercenary goodness. So it's a ranger with 2 HP, right? Like a fighter. Like, shouldn't fighters be stronger, have higher constitution? Well, could get to 4 if you so choose. So it has a Daybreak and a Nightfall ability. You can either get +2 attack AC and HP permanently and be super big. Or if you have the Nightfall ability, again, you have to remove a charge to do either one of these, and both these are once per game. You search your deck for a level 6 dragon or lower and put it into play adjacent to Bran. So clearly Wyvern, if you have not checked out his channel, please do so on Twitch. Spelled exactly as you see it in chat. Hey, how's it going? So I imagine he is very much leaning on option number 2, the Nightfall ability. So he is playing a deck that needs to get to turn 2. Gracchus is running Sir Rollin. Sir Rollin, yeah, it kind of gets to turn 2. Usually, but it might kill you first action turn 2 and sniper shot you. Or assassin's arrow, rapid shot. So Gracchus is very aggressive here. So let's try and think if Bran is he going to start Will-O-Wisp? I don't know. Or is it some other thing? If it's Will-O-Wisp, then Bran's got the edge here, because Gracchus is going to have to shoot through some brine fiends and take some time. Will-O-Wisp and improved invisibility with that wizard you don't have. Oh, I like that. Wait, hold on. Let's see. Wisp and Traders is good stall. That is correct. So the Mysterian Traders have not been getting enough love. So that would be good. It really depends on the starting army here. I imagine that Wyvern is playing a defensive start. I just don't know how defensive, and I don't want you to necessarily spoil your spice here, bud. So like, I think that's really it. If Will-O-Wisp is there, I would take Bran. If not, then I see. It's like, this is not a Gracchus style deck. Gracchus likes devs that take their time and build up and do weird things. It's a 200 card Rollin. Oh man, I gotta update our little bit chat here. So I just think Gracchus has a try hard deck, and I think the try hard deck is gonna edge you out there, Wyvern. Unless you have Will-O-Wisp, at which point, that's what I'm picking. I'm picking that you do not have Will-O-Wisp in your starting army. So let's take Gracchus. Just because it is... How often can I say that? Where is Gracchus anyway? We shall see. There you go. Alrighty. Let's... Ooh, this... Man, an hour and 19 minutes into this stream, and now I'm finally talking about Forge Cake and his Trespass deck. Going up against the Thing and Ravenous the Elder. Oh, you know we're showing Ravenous the Elder. A reimagining of Ravenous Zon, the Nest of Vipers Warlord. This was a 4E update. I can't spell Ravenous very well. Ravenous the Elder. Oh man, I wish we had better scans than this one, but it's kind of blurry, but it gets the job done. Ravenous the Elder got a little bit better than just giving a character power attack. In fact, you don't have to use the order. It's just on initiative now, and they get power attack and repost. You get bonuses for playing water actions, so you can play level 5 water actions, such as Soothing Waters. Medicine built in. and then a reactive, which is essentially a built-in. So it's a 4E rogue cleric, 4E rogue cleric that's probably got some ill-gotten gains and blind the gods in there. So Forge Cake, running Trespass. I think we covered Trespass with Zant. I think it's probably going to be a similar style of deck where it's just, hey, let me get into your ranks and just murder you. So now the Thing, it depends. I think the Thing tried to go for the achievement of Ravenous Zon in Ancients, and I don't think it worked well, if I'm not mistaken. But the Thing has also taken Tarek Justicebringer and made a believer out of all of us by making the cut there. So, like, Ravenous the Elder is probably easier than making Tarek Justicebringer work. So the Thing could have something going. This could be a good matchup. Whatever it is, I'm going to pick Bobby just because I love Bobby. Not that I don't love you, the Thing. You're awesome too, but this is completely a homer pick here. If Bobby loses, I would not be shocked. But because Ravenous the Elder just goes blind the gods and murders Trespass in his nothing starting army. But I kind of want to see Bobby win. I like Bobby. Bobby yells at a lot of people in Discord, but he doesn't yell at us. So there we go. Let's get Bobby up there. But we could very well have a Gracchus Thing, Ravenous the Elder versus Sir Rollin. But anyway, let's go down to the 31-2 matchup. Uthanak running Alisara. This is not confusing at all that you have two warlords. It's like, wait, is it running Uthanak or is it Alisar? So Uthanak, now that's a name I think I've seen posts. I don't recall their online pedigree, let's say. I feel like I've seen someone with the name Uthanak on Discord playing like maybe months ago, and now maybe they're just kind of coming back. They're ranked 31, so don't have a massive track record coming in, but they at least either that or they also, just like Disc Golf, this is their first tournament. The German player in his first online tournament. Okay, cool. Thank you, Graham, for fact checking here. I like this. You can be the who's the college basketball like courtside reporter? I don't know. I think it's a bunch of different people. But you are the courtside reporter. We kick it to you. You have a nice little bow tie, and you get to have some quips there, and then like you end your little soliloquy with a joke, and then you kick it back to us in the studio, and we have to do our fake laugh, that laugh that they always do on that. This is really only niche, not for you nerds who are here to hear me talk about card games. This is really for like the sports nerds too. Because I did study sports journalism in college, and let me tell you, when you realize how much of a formula there is, it gets really boring and old, and you could just see the fakeness. So I have quickly lost interest in seeing that thing. But anyway, so German player versus Jackal running Dorath Sadul. So Alisara versus Dorath. Now again, Jackal as a number 2 seed, like shout out to Jackal. Look at that. Done very well in this early part of the, what was this, quarter 1 of 2023. Get the number 2 seed. And Dorath is bounced. So Alisar is most likely Supremacist drop versus Dorath. So let me let's pull up Dorath. I want everyone to see this one. I think most people know Dorath, but okay, well that search did not work very well for me. We got there. So Dorath Sadul. That order is what we need to see here. So if Alisara's whole strategy is dropping dragons, they're going to have a lot of ranks that just or single file lines. Dorath says if you target any non-warlord character and return it to their owner's hand, this ability may not target characters with items equipped. Dragons cannot equip items. So I think this is a really bad matchup for Alisara. This is about worst case scenario. Alisara is a deck that could go super smooth and make a deep run, but man, the fact that you get Dorath with bounce in the first round, that's just unfortunate, man. Yeah, so Jackal having a higher seed. Again, I don't know. With that being a German player, like the Germans, just in any card game I have ever played, the German meta has been the gold standard of competitiveness. So like anytime I play against anyone from Germany, you need to take them seriously. So Uthnak, probably a really great player in just any card game they've ever picked up. Jackal, again, he's very well, has a good proven track record, especially again in recent history too, but has made a lot of top 8s. So even let's just say for argument's sake, even players, the matchup is so one-sided to Jackal's favor. Dorath, I think, is gonna slam dunk this one, and it's unfortunate. It's just a bad matchup, but the breaks here. I know everyone's kind of ever talked about, if you ever talk about like just how cuts work, because this is essentially just a very big cut. That's what this event is. So like whenever you make the top 8 in an online event, anyone who's ever participated in a whole bunch of them will all tell you there is a lot of luck involved. It depends on the matchups. It depends on the pairings and how everything goes that determines if you're going to be successful or not. And you can just get a really bad stacked bracket and then that's it. Like it's just nothing. You just lose. So, and I think this is what's going to happen with Uthnak. Not for any fault. If they play their way out of it, or if Jackal fumbles, then we're going to laugh at you, Jackal. But I have all the confidence in you there. Alrighty, let's go back up to the top. So we got a Dan Marr. And we're going Marr. I forgot what it was already. Bobby, remind me. Just hold on, guys. This is the thing. I haven't done a stream where I've just been talking for an hour and a half in a while. Marr, there we go. I do need to, wetten my throat here. It is not easy to talk to yourself for hours on end, let me tell you. But need to keep on going. So Dan Marr versus Gracchus. Man, am I really going to pick Gracchus again? I don't know. So again, Kazaya is all about fast, aggressive start. If they have Scarlets, they have marksmanship, can pass marksmanship for an extra wound and take out the Deveranian courtiers that Gracchus is probably starting. Gracchus is probably also starting Acolyte Dora, so he's going to make him roll 2 on those rolls, but the rolls will be at +6 against an 8 AC, so that doesn't matter. So maybe make him roll 2 on the marksmanship. I could see Dan doing this. I mean, these are 2 warlords I've played and like a lot, and they're very range strikey. Man, Gracchus can't punt, right? I guess it also depends too, because I can't run cleric actions. It just has like that Song of Triumph or whatever it is. That is a cleric action that the bards can play as rogue stuff. If it has counterspell, that's a dead card. I think Dan has, he's starting to come back. And Gracchus, he plays a lot of warlord. I think this, while it isn't ranking an upset, I think picking Gracchus here is an upset, and that's what I'm going with. We'll say that Dan's rolls kind of go ice cold here, and this is how I think it happens. Because if the rolls go cold, doesn't pass charisma, let's say, or like if Gracchus is just able to hold off the initial onslaught, like if Dan doesn't do as much first action as humanly possible, or if Gracchus still gets enough characters and meat just to rebuild after the initial onslaught, then I think he's fine, because then I think he can snipe out Kazaya. So let's pick Rollin for Warlord alone. Then we got Trespass versus Dorath. I guess it's kind of, obviously, so now bounce doesn't really matter for Trespass, so that's not there. Dorath will then use its bounce offensively for itself in terms of bringing back Jackals to its hand. Ironically enough, Jackal. There you go. So getting 2 strikes there to kind of break ranks and force Trespass out of the ranks. I don't see Dorath ever coming to rank 2. So Trespass will will most likely win turn 2 if it's going to win. Dorath could blitz the hell out of those dwarfs, and I think that's what's going to happen. So I think the aggressiveness of Dorath is just going to be too much for the Dwarven ranks, and I think Dorath is going to pull out this dub. But if Bobby gets into Dorath, Bobby being Forge Cake, if Forge Cake gets into those ranks and Jackals can't destroy that army that very turn, then Dorath's dead. Like, dead as a door now. So I'm going to say 2-1 Jackals is going to edge this out, and if I have to give a scenario like I've been doing for all my lovely metamates here, I'm going to say that it comes down to game 3 and Bobby loses on initiative when he's in the opposing ranks. And then his Jackal swings, kills the last remaining dwarf, and Trespass runs away, and then Bobby's like, you win, man. So that's what I think happens there. And then Dorath versus Sir Rollin. This matchup comes down to just keeping Dorath out of rank 2. If Dorath sits in rank 3 and Gracchus doesn't stealth in Sir Rollin to shoot at him, then I think Jackal wins it. But if Sir Rollin's able to get, like, I'm assuming they're running the Diversion and Pilferer's Gloves and going out like the Cartwright set as its offense for Sir Rollin, because that's how I built mine. So I'm going to assume it's the same kind of way. Then you can get the Gaudy Hat, you can stealth in, and then you can shoot out Dorath, and I think the devs can hold very well there. But that's really the play path that Gracchus would have to play to. And I don't think he's going to do that. I'm going to pick Dorath here because bounce is good. Midge would agree that bounce is good. So let's go with Jackal. So we have Jackal taking this group. Alrighty. So let's have a look at my top 4. So let's... Oh, wait, hold on. All right? Yeah, okay. No, it's the other way around. I'm going bass backwards here. That means I got to zoom out. There we go. I think this works here. Okay, so... doesn't look right on the stream. It's different on my end. All right, cool. We can't get it. Let's go even further. Oh, that's just unreadable, man. All right. All right, here. I think I got it now. We're good. So here we go. On the left side, we got myself versus Temperance here. So Raziel versus Anton. And if we're suspected that Anton is doing some things to have some craziness with like Phantasm and stuff like that, that requires a lot of cards in hands. I think, well, Temperance... Again, this is all dependent on Temperance having some craziness, but craziness usually involves having cards in your hand, and Raziel makes sure that doesn't happen. So I'm going to pick myself to go to the finals because, again, I am full of myself. I am an egotistical maniac. I do not actually believe I will get to this position that I am picking myself, but I have to believe in myself. Nah, I think right now it's just Raziel is carrying right here. So that's it, because I took some upsets here. That means that I think Raziel, the more upsets I had down here, I think the more it leads a path for Raziel to just do Raziel things. So I got myself in the final, and I unfortunately scrolled down. Okay, cool. So now we got King Zod versus Dorath. I don't think Dorath has enough firepower to take out Zod. It's kind of like it'd be very similar to like a Nemesis versus Zod, and that wouldn't work. It's a blitz heaviness. It's versus AC. I think Dow just withstands it unless. Who knows? Jackal might have some spice with Winter Warfare, but no, you want to run Dorath with Jackals and then have Winter Warfare. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think Dow takes it here, and then we have, man, I am really like, oh, come on. As I'm filling this out, I'm believing in myself, and like again, I feel like Raziel can take out King Zod very well. So now I am very much a prick. Man. I don't want to pick myself, but I would believe that Raziel can defeat King Zod. So if that's the case, I'd be picking myself. That is the most pompous thing I could ever do. So I don't know if I want to do that. So then, hold on then. In that case, let's say that Nymeros beats me. Okay. No one ever saw anything. Then we'll say Kane makes it out over here. What is this? Kane is now in here? Yeah, let's just overwrite me because I can't possibly be there. Oh, man, I'm back on Temperance. Let's go. I just completely erased myself from this bracket. All right. Anton versus King Zod. All of that just to say that King Zod is going to win because Zod is still dumb. Man, for those who hung over, we're just like, wait, what? Again, so like, I don't want to pick myself, so I am going to remove that. I do like, again, I if it plays out the way that this goes, like that I see it going, then like I like the path I have myself for Raziel, just with the matchups. The hardest being here, I would say. But I think I will. I don't want to pick myself to win, so I'm gonna have myself lose very early. I'm going to collect my check from Graham, who says that I need to go down in the second. And I am not below a bribe. So now, but what I like this a Temperance WOD final where it's Anton versus King Zod. This is something I'd want to see. I'm gonna pick Dow again. I just think he's a safe, sure bet. This is because of, again, how many reps he's had in a competitive environment with King Zod. I think he's got it, especially with how the bracket's falling. If he does fumble, it will be to Celtic, I think, because I don't think Chase has enough firepower here. Zant, maybe, like, again, if Trespass gets past this and just is like, hey, these two Uber decks, I'm ready to just crit you in the face and just murder you for like 9 billion wounds in one strike, then, or just a Vorpal Blade, I guess, maybe, I don't know. But I just don't see that. But if it does, then Zant could be a Cinderella here, but then built-in stealth against Corios? Yeah, maybe. That could be a Cinderella there. That could be some upsets, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to take the percentages. I'm going to pick Dow to take this one home. So that is my bracket. And I have Temperance here. Temperance, I know you're going to lose in like the first round. But I like Anton. I want to see Anton win. I'm just willing this into existence. And I'm not picking too much of my Jersey brethren just because I know I'm going to get shit in our group chat because of it. But that's how I see this playing out. I really like this. I think this is a really cool concept. I know, like, wait, it's a cool concept. It's just top 32. But, like, still, like, man, brackets are fun. I like the science behind bracketology. But again, like, if anything, the main takeaway for those who are just not participating in this event or not have no stakes in here, the main takeaway here is that matchups are very important in the cut. And especially for this game, because player skill is there. Player skill is very important. You know, again, with Raziel, like I've seen so many things for playing it for decade and a half, like, so I think it's pretty good. King Zod with Dow, he's played that for probably 20 years as well, probably his first Warlord, I'm assuming. Like, again, like, it's just, you know, those matchups, you know, these Warlords too, but even then, like, there's just sometimes you're just gonna run into an Alisara versus Dorath, and it's just like, oh, what can you do? Whereas, like, let's say if that Alisara, if Uthanac and Alisara, like, let's say it's switched with, like, Jackie over here, like, I could see Alisara against Tal just dropping Supremus and just murdering face, and then the same reason why I have Temperance here, just assuming he's got something like that, just going deep. Like, you can pick Alisara in let's see, Alistar against Raziel? Probably not. Alistar against King Zod? Yeah, it depends on... King Zod could be a bad matchup too, just for that. But either way, like that's a Warlord I can see going far and could be built for the cut. It's one of those, like, the matchup is everything. When you play that Warlord and you get to the cut, it then you're just hoping that the meta did not prepare for you. The ones that did, just hopefully they get paired against somebody else. So, reset brackets, start from the beginning. All right. But anyway, this is my bracket. This is what I'm going to submit. I don't think it's real, but this was fun. Hopefully everyone enjoyed my banter. Everyone enjoyed me talking shit, and I hopefully only hurt the feelings of the people in my group chat. Whereas everybody else who are in chat right now, hopefully you guys at least found me somewhat entertaining and so much fun. So we need to reward that by moving on to the tradition here that we got. It's the giveaway. Let's spin the wheel of Woodrow. Let's end strong with some pack openings and some things like that. So chat, if this usually works where I have somebody who I'm playing with. But just in case, if you all are hanging around in chat, I am always entertaining. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's get Nightbot up. Hopefully it is working. It's kind of working. There's at least... Okay, yeah, here you go. This is going to be great. There you go. All right, folks. If you haven't said anything in the last 15 minutes, if you don't see your name here on this layout here on the left side, please say something in chat. You then will be entered into this giveaway. We will be spinning the wheel of Woodrow. So we'll go, with a little spin, watch Woodrow scream a little bit, and then whatever it lands, that's what you get. So we'll give away at least 2, but it's also going to depend because we need to at least open up some packs here. That's what we're here to do, folks. So let's roll it up. Let's see what we got. First one is going to Ali Eagle. Alrighty. Oh man, and he just posted as I hit roll it. Look at that. I just have the comfort of knowing I will be breaking your bracket. Oh, there you go. I love it. See, I can't lose. And Nightbot's always against me anyway. There is no surprises here. All right, let's give Ollie the good old spin here. Let's see. I'm gonna move myself closer. Look at that. There we go. I think that's right now. All right, cool. Now I'm in a position to spin this. So let's go with the Wheel of Woodrow. We're going to wind it up. We're going to get ready. Look at him scream. He's ready. And away we go. Let's see, Ollie. What do you got? What do we got for Ollie? And it is landing on loot. You have been added to the loot roster, sir. So for those who do not know,
rigged,
the packs that we open, let's see. I guess I'll write it as your... Yeah, I'm going to write it as your username. Nah, we're just going to say Ollie. Ollie Eagle. There we go. You are now added to the loot box. So we're halfway there, folks. Once we get 8 people who land on loot, one of those 8 folks will win the loot box, which is rather big. So, because it's been a while, I haven't given away since Marco won it, and I still haven't shipped out Marco's. Sorry, eventually. But that's on my to-do list, I swear. But yep, so this is a good W, Ollie. I know you don't get to open a pack, but you're in the loot box running, so that's good. Along with Worldfall, Graham, and Wyvern. There we go. Wyvern looking to win a second loot box. There we go. Alrighty, let's do another spin, folks. Let's see. Let's get Nightbot back up. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. Pack. Let's get a pack attack. So we are going to re-roll it. I am not looking. So if you want to type something in the chat, now's the time to do it when I'm not looking, because apparently Nightbot likes the person who posted last. But anyway, let's see. We got Sanjington. There we go. Alrighty, Sanji. Let's see. Nightbot, go away.
rigged.
Yeah, I know. Alright, let's see. Fuck that one up. Let's go. Spin it, spin it, spin it, spin it. Come on, give us a pack. Give us a pack. Maybe a pack? Stupid luck. Okay, that's a pack. You were right near loot and fumble, so that was close. But we got stupid luck. Alrighty. I am just going to go into the box of Josh. So we got the Wheel of Woodrow and the box of Josh. I am pulling out a random pack, and you are just getting whatever I pull. And it's an epic edition. There we go. Epic edition. I don't think I've opened this on here. Maybe once. I don't remember. But let's open it up for you, Sanji. Let's see what we got. Oh, man. These are flimsy packs. Like the actual wrapper. Oh, and I forgot how these cards are. AEG was clearly not making money on Warlord at this point. Those are uncommon. So uncommon. One of these cards is dented. Like, what is going on? Oh, man. AEG makes me laugh sometimes. But anyway, let's see how you got with this Epic Edition pack, Sanji. Let's see what we got for you. Starting off with the Tower of the Steel Rose. We got Arag. Courage from Faith. Nothrog Daggers, solid card. Porthos Still Chant. Some random elf. And Symbol of Core. Going to uncommons, we got Conviction. Okay, I like that one. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still pretty good. Bull Rush, speaking of not as good as it used to be. Then Bear. There we go. This is Bear without the capitalization. This is just Bear, but not Bear, that you will see in the 4E Battlefields one. You can go check that out online for a future event that's coming up. But none of that matters. All that matters is here. Which was the card that was dented? Was it Conviction or Bear? Yeah, it was Bear. Let's see if I can show it. It's not coming out. But like at the very top, it's like clipped over here in some whitening. I can't get it right now, but in person, trust me, it's there. All right. Well, you don't know if you're getting a refund or not based off of this card. So we got to see if it's a W or not. What do we got? We have a foil Cone of Cold. Oh, man, I forgot about these Epic Edition foils. Look at how janky that one looks. Oh, man, look at that. I mean, it's essentially just like a mirror at this point. You can almost see into my kitchen. There's some more artwork. Oh, my God. It is literally just a mirror. Cone of Cold. Let's read it out. So, Cone of Cold, level 5 wizard action. Spend order. Perform a +5 range strike that inflicts an additional wound. The target, then any characters that were adjacent to the target must succeed with a magic save DC 15 or be stunned. So, it's 1 +5 for 2, and then everybody, the target and its adjacents have to make DC 15 or stun. So, this was a cool card at the time. I don't think Cone of Cold really gets play anymore. It is shiny, though. I think Prismatic Surge is just better. Yeah, and I would say Prismatic Surge isn't really that good either. I just don't think it's like the spell that you play in Ancients. In Epic Edition, in the very base set, this is good. It is foil. You have Nothrog Daggers and Bull Rush, really. Like, the commons and uncommons are okay, but not great. Chat, what do you think? What are your thoughts here? Is this a W or no? I know some of you are still here. I know it got late, so many of you went to bed, but throw a shiny in the loot box as Sanjington, but nobody else? Nobody else wants. Everyone's done hearing me talk. Vac, we listened to you for like an hour and a half, pick your bracket, and you were going to pick yourself the winner, and then you completely undid it. Save a stamp. I mean, technically, I was probably a couple 100 feet from Sanji today as I went to my office, which is literally right next door. You can put it in my loot box. Look at that. I love it. I love it. Just hand it to him. No, we will throw this in the loot box. It's a pretty one, though. I like these Epic Edition packs. Hopefully we pull more of them out of the random box on the wheel. But that'll do it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream. It was hopefully fun, at least somewhat. Well, that's what I'm trying to do is be fun. But we got games coming, guys. Don't worry. I will see if I can stream these Slow March Madness games. I got to talk to Disc Golf, see if they're comfortable coming on stream, and then eventually schedule that out. But if I can, I will show those games. And also, for sure, this event is running in tandem with the regular March Ancients event. So I will be playing some spice there. I am bringing Kale King Rowan as my Warlord there. So I figured Raziel for the Try Hard event, and then let's get fun with some Mercenary Kale King Rowans. I figured it was a nice story tie-in where I had success with Saga Kish, and partly because of Kale Rowan being in the deck, figured, okay, cool, this is the spin-off series. Like, Kale, based off of their work bringing Saga to victory, has now become the king of Rowan, and this is the spin-off series about their fun little adventures, and we are just hoping that it is better than the Book of Boba Fett. That is all we are saying. But and if not, then all right, maybe I go like 2 and 4 and drop. But we will see. It's a fun deck. I hope it's a fun deck to watch on stream. It'll be more fun than watching me draw my entire deck and drop a big fat Daemon Lord into play. So I promise you that. But hopefully they're competitive games and we have a good time. So until those matchups, I will see you all later. Take it easy. Have a good one. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.